Hello, everyone. I'm Daniellah, your host, and this is Midnight in His Garden. Today's episode is just going to be an update and also an introduction to a song I wrote. And I'm saying it's a song I wrote because it was actually a poem that I wrote in a wilderness season with the Lord that I turned into a song using AI. I want to first start out this episode by thanking you guys for those that follow me, for those that have watched my episodes for Midnight in His Garden. You're really appreciated. And I pray that it's been fruitful and also just pushing you deeper into pursuing after the Lord first as He gives you deeper truths and revelations to anything that I shared or just overall in your faith walk with Him. You are truly and dearly loved by the Lord. And there's none like you. So I'm really grateful. And I love you with the love of Jesus Christ for you being where you are right now in your journey. And if you don't follow me on my other social media accounts, I would encourage you to do so. I'm a bit more active than I have been with my podcast. And I am so sorry about that. I went through a major transition that the Lord saw us through, us being me and my children. I'm a single mom to two, so usually moves and stuff alone are hectic and expensive, and it requires a lot of me. So I had to fall back in other avenues that I was working on, like my podcast, for example. But I do have some episode ideas. And as I continue to seek the Lord, because He is very merciful with me in what I do so that I don't burn out, but that I move at the capacity He's given me, which is in His strength when I'm weak. But yeah, I had a massive move, you guys, and we made it, but I was homeless for a while with my children. And then once I got established, I then became a caregiver for my brother who has a disability. So it's been an interesting journey. But one thing I was thanking the Lord about in this process is that I still stayed moldable in the potter's hands. And for those of you who don't know, I have a blog. I created it on my birthday. And I made a YouTube video about it, and I'm just laughing because of the YouTube video. But I made a blog on my birthday because I like to write. I write so much that I feel like nobody would be interested in it. And the Lord kind of showed me, well, that's not true. There are some people that will love to read the paragraphs upon paragraphs that you write. And so I created a blog, and it's at wovenwithgold.org. It's my written garden. And so I made a blog post about the potter's hands and just staying humble before him and in him. And so I'm bringing that up because this poem that I turned into a song comes from that same vulnerability, but also knowing that once the potter molds you in the way that he desires you to be, you're strong, you're fortified, right? Um, like a vase, after the potter is done molding it and puts it in that fire, you come out as gold, right? You come out strong and a vessel, a new vessel, a new wineskin. And so, this poem, I really do hope that the AI tool I used will really emphasize what I was kind of feeling in that intensity, but how Jesus sees us through all seasons. And just like what I was talking about with the season of transition, it's the same thing that follows. No, I didn't, write this poem that far back, but I definitely find myself in moments where, your soul will cry out for acknowledgement to the Lord. And every single time He answers. And not only does He answer, but He comforts. He's the best comforter. So yeah, I do want to, before I add the song to this podcast episode, just continue with my updates. And so, yeah, as I mentioned, I do have some ideas for some episodes for my podcast, but I've also been kind of thinking, well, what would really help my listeners? And so if you guys have any ideas or anything that you're currently wondering about in your own faith walk, maybe Bible studies and stuff, please reach out to me and leave a comment, reach out on my website or any of my social media accounts, so that I can also sit before the Lord and inquire of Him and His wisdom to know how to produce whatever episode would be so beneficial to the body. But also, I have been thinking, Lord, I would like to also do interviews on my podcast where I'm able to interview people with certain testimonies that touch on the same kind of revelation that I've been sharing already with my episodes, and the revelation being that God is a unchallenged king, and His wisdom is not like ours. And so sometimes sitting in the mind of Christ and moving at his heart, in promptness is testimonies. I feel like that would really benefit people. Like it's the kind of testimonies that are going to require faith. And I know that there's other brothers and sisters that experience either warfare or just overall things that maybe in a traditional church setting would not be well received. But I'm wondering if, as the Lord gives me more confirmation, and also if you guys would like to hear these kind of testimonies, because I do meet people that have the same kind of things I discuss on my episodes. They live it out. And so I think it would be encouraging to also hear, because there are believers, a remnant, that have unique circumstances and struggles and sufferings. And so I think that that unnoticed group of believers, even if they find my podcast, can leave with encouragement coming across maybe an episode like that. So you guys let me know, and also any topics. But I do have a few, and I'm just trying to find the time as I'm moving in all of these different responsibilities and roles that I'm in. But I would encourage you to check out, again, my website, wovenwithgold.org, to follow up with more updated things I'm doing, as well as just overall to check out my blog and all the other ways you can connect with me. So back to this poem. Yes, I wrote this poem called, I called it Stuck at a Standstill. But when I was creating the song in the AI tool app, I decided to call it Heaven Knows, because sometimes only God knows even what we're expressing, even if it's like groanings, right? And so I wrote this poem during the wilderness, as I mentioned before, because my heart was just in this intensity and I just didn't know how to express it other than in words. And when I did write it in words and express myself, I still felt that the intensity wasn't really perceived how I was feeling it. And the Lord gave me the idea to use the AI tool to create it as a song. Now I know for brothers and sisters, AI is a tool that is controversial, right? Yeah. And so the thing about that though is the Lord showed me that for me, so if you have personal convictions, let every man be a liar and God be true. If the Lord is leading you in any way or capacity to avoid and evade AI, then please do so, right? I'm not trying to say that you have to follow behind whatever I do, but the Lord led me to use AI. And at first I didn't want to because I was on the fence about it, but I realized that being a single mom with responsibilities, that sometimes can make me feel like I'm drowning. AI has made it easy to be able to maintain the things that the Lord is calling me to do, not to replace the Holy Spirit, not to replace God in the process, but to more so help me keep it smoothly functioning. And so when I use AI, for example, with writing my book, I wrote my book. All the content in my book is me. However, I use AI to edit, fix grammar mistakes, and maybe help me reword things in what I wrote out. And then I was able to use AI to help me publish it, like self-publish on Amazon. And so I wouldn't have been able to afford to pay for an editor or an illustrator, or even get to the online platforms like, Google Doc, and converting these things into like KDP format and all this stuff without AI, because AI allows you to do it for free. Whereas, there are people that are equipped and skilled in those roles to do it. However, I would never be able to afford that where I'm at in my position. And so the Lord has led me to use AI to help me to still produce things for his glory, but not to replace it. And so that's the thing with me. I know, first off, that the Holy Spirit leads us in all truth, and not just in all truth, but God also will correct if we ever venture off into different kind of things away from what he's leading us. And so with AI, it is very limited with me because I just know better and I would get in trouble if I tried to teeter into certain things without it. But it is a tool that makes it easy for me to maintain a lot of the stuff that God calls me to do. And so with this song that I made from my poem, again, I wrote, the poem came from my heart expressions to the Father, but I found that this AI app allowed me to pick the type of instrumental, the type of genre of music that I wanted to portray that intensity that I was feeling. And I'm not a musician. I'm not a talented singer, but I still wanted to express myself in this way. And so I really do hope that you guys enjoy it. I really hope that the lyrics make sense, but for me it does, because each lyric that I wrote, there's like a whole backstory to it, different memories and flashbacks and things, but I just kind of condensed it because that's what poetry is, right? It's open interpretation, but I know what it is interpreting, and I really like it, and so I pray that you guys do too. But this was it for my update, you guys. I am working on getting consistent with so many things and also trying to create new things. But again, if you don't follow me on YouTube or Instagram or my Facebook, I would encourage you to do so, because I'm a lot more active. I'll just post things, Bible verses as the Lord leads. And also my blog. I'm very consistent. I make blog posts every other Monday. And I would encourage you guys to check that out. Again, wovenwithgold.org, my written garden, and I'm super excited about it because it's a space where I feel like the right people who read it will enjoy it, because I love to write and express myself. And so I'm glad that I've created this place that glorifies God, but also allows me to be authentically me. But yes, guys, God bless you. And here is the song that I am going to attach. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Take care.
Stuck at a standstill, knees bowed, hearts on fire. Joy is bursting forth, lights of colors, chill of thunder, shadows shaken by you. In the winter of my wilderness, your warmth came to me, but I shied away from your touch. Patiently watching, gently